And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, January 7th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody, and we welcome you on a Friday morning. We all know the snow is on the ground, and if you don't have to go anywhere, it's okay. But I am here live in studio, and we're ready to go to the telephone here to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust. We've got John Foster on the phone this morning. He's president of Wilson Bank and Trust. And John, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman. Appreciate you giving me the call-in option this morning. That kept me out of the snow for a few more minutes anyways.
Yeah, we had a little conversation yesterday, and I gave you the numbers here, and I said it's up to you. If you want to drive out, that's fine, but we'll do fine on the phone. You've been on with us before, and we know you've been around. Actually, you started in the Glade, didn't you, with Wilson Bank and Trust?
I did. That's where I'm at this morning. Started there back almost, will be 24 years this January 20th, so coming up on a anniversary date. It's hard to believe that I don't feel like most days that I'm old enough to have had a career in banking 24 years, but evidently I have.
Well, let's talk about today. Fridays are usually a big day at the bank. What are y'all doing? I guess you'll be open.
Yep. So what we're doing today, we have modified our banking hours today from 10 until 2. Now we'll be full service from 10 to 2. But just felt like, we have so many employees. Obviously, many of them live here in Wilson County, but you'd be surprised, Coleman, of how many people that we do have drive in from Smith, Trousdale, other surrounding counties, and it makes it, a little bit difficult to get here on a day like today. And you have to think about our employee safety, yet also think about our customers that expect us to be there and be open. So we feel like we can do that, take care of both of those if we offer some limited hours. So we'll be there from 10 to 2 today, and that's really throughout all the markets we serve.
Okay, well, that's
throughout all of Middle Tennessee.
Well, what else do you want to tell us today? We talked about how long you've been there. You've had quite a career. You're certainly not by yourself. There's a lot of other people who have started out in the lower ranks and worked their way up, and the bank has been growing so much all these years, and you're part of a number of people who have come there, loved it, and stayed with it, and now you're the number 2 man.
Well, it's certainly I think you said a lot there that lots of people have been able to follow a similar path, come there early in their career, and just with staying the course and commitment to the bank. I think when you're committed to the bank's committed to you, and you can have a good long career there. And you mentioned growth. One thing I would mention this morning, just as an update, our office over in Sumner County that we've been talking about for several months. Our new Greenlee location, which is there at the corner of Greenlee Boulevard and Nashville Pike, will open officially on January 21st is when we'll have our grand opening. We'll be in there a few days before that, but our grand opening will be Friday, January 21st. So we're just a couple of weeks away from that. Real excited about that and the team that we have over there. So while not here in Wilson County, obviously it's continued growth, and every time we open a new office, that's a new manager, new assistant manager, new employees, so it gives an opportunity for us to bring someone else up through the ranks, as you mentioned earlier, or, sometimes we have to go out and hire some people from outside, and that's okay too, but it's a great opportunity. I should also mention today, Coleman, when you have a snowy day like today and maybe you don't want to get out, but you're looking to do something where you need to still open a new account, or you're simply trying to make a loan, you want to talk to someone about that, we have a really great online account opening system. We've been opening accounts online for years, but that's recently been, I guess I would say, upgraded and updated, and just the process is so simple now. If you want to go online and open your account, you can basically open any account that we have, that we offer in the branch, do that online, and they tell me you can do that as in little as 6 or 7 minutes. So it's really just a quick and easy process.
Well, that's great to know. And I'll tell you what, electronic banking, if that's what we want to call it, where you can sit at your computer and transfer funds, where you can see how much money you got in the bank or how much you don't or whatever. It's we've come a long way in the last 20, 30 years.
We certainly have, and it's in this day and time, it's just an expectation. Everyone expects to be able to do that, so you have to constantly evaluate what you have and look to upgrade your services and the delivery systems that you send to people.
All right, one other thing, since you were talking about the new edition, I've lost count, but I want to know, when you open that one 2 weeks from today in Gallatin, what's the number? How many are you going to have?
Yes, sir. So, no, that will be the Gallatin office should be number 29.
29.
And we look to open number 30 later in the year. We have recently purchased some property down in Williamson County in the Maryland Farms area, and so we'll be looking to do something there a little later on in the year. That's just in the early beginning stages, and got a little ways to go before we finish that one up. But that would be number 30.
All right.
Really happy about that.
Well, I know you are. We're in our last minute here. If you will, tell us anything else you got quickly here, and we'll close it out this morning.
All right. Let me remind everyone of our Southern Home and Garden Expo. Been doing that for years and years. We do that every winter. We used to call it our Construction Expo. That is on Friday, February the 11th, and on Saturday, February the 12th, from 9 until 5. So just, really 30 days away from that big event. Still looking to do that in person there at the Expo Center. So,
all right. And a final reminder that today you've got banking, but it's limited hours.
That's correct. 10 until 2 for today.
All right. Well, John Foster, thanks so much for being with us this morning. We've enjoyed your visit here by telephone. Stay warm, stay dry, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, you do the same. Thank you, Coleman.
All right. John Foster is the president, Wilson Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. 10 minutes after the hour, and here on this Friday morning, it's my pleasure to introduce one more time Senator Mark Pody.
Good morning, Coleman. It's great to be here.
Well, it is great to have you in studio, and I got here 10 minutes earlier than usual today, and you were already here.
I was. I wanted to make sure I left early enough so I wouldn't be stuck on the ice somewhere.
Well, you were telling me that you came 231 South, I believe. You were traveling north on 231 South.
And there was a semi that was actually stuck going up one of the hills. And so the highway patrol, they had kind of blocked off the road to try and get him out. He couldn't go up, couldn't go down. So it's slippery and treachery out there. Lebanon was pretty good when I got to city limits. But out in the county, it's still a lot of ice and snow all across the state.
Well, it's we hear this all the time, but it's just wise. It's wisdom. If you don't have to go, don't. And the less people are out there on the road, the less chances there are you go. But I mean, you can easily go too fast or not make a turn just right and slip and slide and fall in a ditch, that kind of thing, whether there's anybody else there or not.
That's exactly right. Now, it was kind of ironic. I was up in Wisconsin. I had to just help my father-in-law. We just had to put him into a rehab center. We're putting him, unfortunately, into hospice now. So my wife and I were up there, and we were watching. It was snowing up there like crazy, and it was 70-some degrees down here. But when I got down here, I got back to the snow here as well.
How long did you live in Wisconsin?
I actually went to all my schools was in Wisconsin. So from when I was about 3 years old until I was 16.
Okay, so you know what it's like in Green Bay and being the Packer fan that you are and all of this. But
yes,
people do learn how to drive in the snow better than we're able to do here, I take it.
Absolutely. When up in the northern states, I mean, we're with it for months at a time. It doesn't come and go. It's always there. So you just, in fact, we go out to the lakes and kind of learn how to drive on ice on the lakes, because lakes are frozen, so you can have some of your driving lessons. You drive and put yourself in spins and, do the donuts, although I seen somebody did a donut here in the parking lot this morning. But we literally have driving courses on the frozen lakes, how to drive on ice.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those times. There's plenty we can talk about. The legislature. You are our senator, of course. I think I introduced you right this morning, but it's good to talk about some of the other things. One of the good things about coming here each Friday, like you do during the legislative session, if we don't get it this time, we can do it next week. So anything we don't get to today, we'll put off to next week. But it is good to get started here. When do you actually go to Nashville?
Tuesday is when we start. So at 12 o'clock, we'll be a roll called in, and we'll be starting the second half of the session. Now, we just had January 1st, and a few laws actually went into effect January 1st. And typically when we pass a law, it's either going to go into effect immediately or it'll go into effect on July 1st is when most of the laws go into effect. But sometimes we have to wait when we pass a law to give the departments time to kind of get ramped up for that law. And a couple that went in that were I thought really good laws. One of them is for teachers, and it's the Teacher Discipline Act. That means that if you have somebody that is being very, very disruptive in your classroom, that the teacher now has the right to say, that student's going to be out of my class. And there's procedures to do that where before they could spend a lot of time disciplining and trying to work with one child and leaving everybody else kind of hanging. So we felt that was a really good move to help our teachers. Something else we did was dual enrollment. And that means that if you're in high school, you could be taking college classes, and the state actually picked up a little bit of the expense so they could be paying for all 4 years and rather than just 2 years of dual enrollment. So they're giving them an opportunity to help get some college credits while they're still in high school. It's ironic that some of the kids have like the first year or so of college done when they're graduating high school.
Well, that's they're smarter than I was, but that's good.
Another focus that they had last year was for criminals, and when they get out of prison, what are they going to do? How can we get them back in society? And most of the people, they're going to get out of prison. And so the governor had led some things saying that we're literally going to be making it easier for somebody that wants to turn their life around, get back in the job force, get back in the housing market and such. So we did some bills that way to let some of the things like more education in prison, so they can learn some tech skills, trade skills, things like that. We made it easier to say counties, if you want to do it, we'll actually help reimburse some of that money for counties that want to try and help do it. And we did something for the criminals that when they're paying back restitution, paying back all their fees and such, instead of paying back court costs first, we said that if you did something to a victim, that restitution is going to be paid back first instead of going back to the courts and so forth. So we tried to put victims ahead of the court systems getting reimbursed. And we felt that was important. The county's always going to be here. The judges are always going to be here. But let's make that money back to the victims before anybody else. And normally they were last. So we moved them up to first and getting reimbursed.
Okay, it is time for us to take a break. Senator Mark Pody is here, the first of several Friday Senate reports here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $49.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. This car is still up against the wall in a terrible spot. They're trying to clear it right now on 40 eastbound at Stewartsbury Pike. It's starting to pick up westbound. Over here, all that traffic coming in from Mount Juliet out of Wilson County into this part of Davidson County. There's some dangerous driving conditions out here this morning. Please use caution and definitely some common sense. PensacolaBeach.com has everything under the sun for you to plan out your next trip. Log on to PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Medina, it's 2022, a brand new year. The decorations are all packed up, and now's the time to start thinking about putting your house on the market. Buyers are out there.
Speaking of buyers, if you're ready to purchase a home, call us and we'll get you started on the path to find your dream home.
And like we say, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Go fast.
Coleman and Company, Friday morning, our Friday Senate report, our first one here in 2022 with Senator Mark Pody. Well, we had a good conversation during the break here. Are you ready to talk about redistricting, or you want to?
Sure. Yep. So what things coming up this year? One of the biggest things that we've got to do very, very early is redistricting. You know, I know the counties have already done all their redistricting for school boards and county commission seats and so forth. Well, the state's got to do it for the state legislators, and that means the senators as well as the General Assembly for the representatives, and we got to do it for the congressional seats as well. And so that's going to be, the maps will be out. I think the representative maps are already out and they're not voted on yet. The Senate maps are going to be probably coming out next week. You know, and nothing's final until the vote's done. But
you've already seen, you know, you're prepared. You've already had your initial reaction when you saw this. You know what's coming unless some changes are made.
That's correct. And it looks like, unfortunately, Coleman, you know, I'm going to be losing some good dear friends in some of the rural counties that I got. Right now I represent 6 different counties, and I'm going to be probably losing a lot of those rural counties. And I got dear friends all across the state in those counties. And I'll probably be taking all of Wilson County and actually a portion of Davidson County. So they're going to be, the district of the 17th will be going into Davidson County, and it'll be close to probably about 10% of Davidson County will be represented by the 17th district.
And the counties that you'll be losing are?
It's going to be Clay, Macon, DeKalb, Smith, and Cannon.
Wow, that's 5.
Yep. So I'll be losing 5 of the 6 counties I have right now. And
so you'll have all of Wilson and a small portion of Davidson. And that will be it.
That'll be it.
And you've got about the same number of people there that you had in all this greater geographic area.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. So that's going to be changing a lot of things going forward. Now, everything is up to a vote. I mean, there's nothing in stone yet, and they're reconsidering other options. I know that there's still a lot of people changing, and there's a possibility, for example, I might be able to keep 1 or 2 of the rural counties and not get as much of Davidson County, and so we're working on those options as well. And we'll just have to kind of wait and see how everybody's putting their input in, and they're listening to everybody as far as who wants what, but the state law says they all have to represent about the same number of people.
Yeah.
For 33 of us.
Well, you're telling me during the break here, it's going to be quite different, too, for Representative Clark Board, Representative Susan Lynn. I don't know how much you want to tell. Clark's supposed to be here Monday. And
yeah, I'll let Clark kind of go through. He knows he and Susan know what's going on in the House a whole lot better than I do. I've got enough focused on the Senate.
But pretty much they're going to split Wilson County as you understand it.
Sure. So Wilson County has 147,000 people or more, and each district's going to have about 70,000 people. So there's just more people in Wilson County than 2 representatives can have and stay within the law.
All right. And so actually part of the county is going to have a 3rd representative.
So probably it'll end up with a 3rd representative somewhere, which is kind of good for Wilson County because that gives Wilson County 3 votes in the House. That's always good to have more votes if you can. So that should be a good thing for Wilson County.
What are you hearing mostly from constituents right now? Or are you hearing really anything? I can't help but think your phone doesn't ring quite a bit, though.
Yes. So I have a lot of people calling with saying, Mark, because there's so much extra money in the state, we want to give, can you help fund us more? Can you give us more? And this is whether it's a city, a county, a schools, nonprofits. There's people coming out and saying, we know that the state has a lot of extra money. And we do. The state has received a lot of extra money. In fact, we're in the best financial condition we've ever been in. But unfortunately, a lot of this money, about $14.8 billion, came from the federal government. And it's one-time money. I mean, 14.8 is a lot of money, but if somebody says we want a portion of that one-time money, it's not coming again. There's not going to be another COVID relief program.
Are they wanting it just one time?
Well, they would like to have it on a regular basis, recurring basis. And it just, we don't have that. And we can't make those kind of commitments and promises. So a lot of my phone calls are dealing with, even though we might have a little bit of extra money, we've got to find a way to be prudent with that money. And actually, we're going to be looking at some tax relief on how we can perhaps work to give some of this back to the taxpayers. And there's a lot of special interest groups that would like it, but I am more the saying it's the taxpayers' money, and how do we get it back to the taxpayers?
Well, aren't there some kind of stringent strings attached to this? You can't just do anything with it.
No, there's a lot of strings attached, and if it's spent wrong or incorrectly, they'll actually come back and take it back. So we're very much diligent in watching what we're doing there. There's also a lot of talk about with the medical things with COVID and such, how they're being treated in hospitals and what they can and can't do. And there's a lot of people that are still, passing away from COVID, and they're passing away alone. There's not somebody that can actually go in and be with them, with their family and things like that. And I'm getting a lot of calls on that. We're going to be relooking at something called a patient's bill of rights. So if I'm a patient, what are the rights that I have? We want to make sure that we're protecting everybody in nursing homes and hospitals and so forth. But what does a patient have and not have? And if we've looked at all 50 states, and Tennessee has one of the weakest bill of rights for patients right now. So we're going to be looking to clearly define what a patient's rights are.
Well, that no doubt is going to be somewhat controversial, and you're going to have people on both sides of the issue here, and it's sometimes hard to find middle ground and something that can kind of be acceptable to everybody.
Absolutely, and we've got to be careful because patients, these are the individuals, but we want to make sure that somebody doesn't come in and spread, diseases to more vulnerable people that are in the hospital or in a nursing home. So we want to be careful. We got to look at both sides and be very judicious in what is right for everybody across the way and how we can accommodate people.
Do you think you can come up with something though that will be better, that will you said we had one of the weakest, really, in the 50 states.
Yes, I do. I really think that there are some combinations that we can do that's not going to bring anybody any more danger than what they're in as far as people in nursing homes or in the hospitals, but yet be a lot more accommodating to people with their loved ones to say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is my choice. And Coleman, I got to think about this, that it is up to me, Mark Pody, that's going to be most important for my own health decisions. It's not going to be up for somebody else to tell me what's right for me. It's up to me. This is my life I'm talking about. And I don't think that it should be up to government. I don't think it should be up to insurance companies or any other entity to tell me what is best for me. It's going to be up to each of us to decide what's best for us and our loved ones.
Well, getting back to your schedule, you meet Tuesday,
yes.
And then there's a period of time where you, what? Let's see now. We have a 2-year session actually that's split in it starts each January, but this is the second of what started last year.
Second half, that's correct. So we got a lot of bills that we were already debating from last year. They'll be rolled over, and we will be up and working hard immediately. So it's not going to be a down period like when we first go in the first half of a session. There's, hey, we got to sign committees, we got to do bill filing deadlines, and all those kind of things. We've already got bills in the hopper that we'll be working on right away.
Okay, so there's no once you get going next Tuesday, there's not a break or anything. You just go continuously till you get ready to sign and die.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And, we never know when that's going to be, but, typically we're out sometime the end of April or early May, and I don't see anything different this time as well. Everybody's up for re-election. When we're talking judges, you're talking everybody in the House as well as, half the people in the Senate. So the governor's up. They'll want to get out pretty quickly so they can be out campaigning.
Are you still making yourself available on certain days at the Chamber of Commerce and other places in the district?
I absolutely am. And now I will tell you that we're supposed to be meeting today at 8 o'clock at the Chamber here. However, the Chamber's closed. So I have to cancel that town hall meeting. But otherwise, the first Friday of every single month, I'm always at the Chamber. at 8 in the morning, and we have individuals that have issues, problems, whatever, concerns, ideas that they want to look at for bills or whatever. We're here to help. And I bring Debbie, I bring our staff in, and that way it's not, hey, I'll get somebody in touch with you. We want to work on it right then and see if we can't get things resolved and fixed.
Well, I'm glad you got it straight in my mind, at least here, and hopefully in our listeners as well, because I have to think twice. I know that sometimes, and as you explained, at the beginning of a session, you meet and then you have a recess till you get everything in place. It's already in place now, so all you got to do is go back and pick up where you left off, pretty much.
That's exactly right.
Do all the bills that weren't completed at the end of the last session, do they automatically roll over, or is it some of them that do, some don't? How's that work?
So some do, some don't. A lot of them, for example, if they went into summer study, if they didn't come out, they might die, and therefore the sponsor's not going to bring them back up, and they'll just have to be put off for another session. But there's a lot, and we had 1,600 bills that were filed last year, and there was only a few hundred that were passed. And I'm just going to tell you probably 200 more than we needed, okay? We don't need a lot more laws, but there's still, 1,000 bills out there that have to be dealt with one way or the other. And we'll continue to work on those. There's going to be probably another 1,500 bills filed this next month. So there'll be a lot more bills filed that we got to work through as well.
You got a few to file?
I am trying to cut down the number as much as I can, and I don't have many that I am filing. I am going to be filing the one on the Patient's Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
So I've got a few that I'll be working on, but this is probably going to be one of the lowest legislative packages that I've ever had. I'm literally just going to be trying to focus on a few bigger bills than a whole bunch of little ones. Another one we are working on is blasting. And we're getting a lot of complaints of individuals saying that, hey, there's blasting going on, and there was a lot of it actually out of Watertown. And there was a new quarry over there, and some people are very frustrated with what's going on there. So I'm trying to work with some of those issues and what we can do to make it right for everybody.
All right, we're out of time here this morning, but thanks for being with us. We'll see you next Friday.
Thank you, Coleman.
Right.
See you then.
All right, that is part one of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, they have a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday, free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're trying to wrap up that earlier wreck out there on 40 eastbound at Stewartsbury Pike. There's still tons of trucks that have pulled over to the side. They've been out here for quite a while. They're in tricky spots here on I-40 east and westbound. Actually, westbound more so here at Whitebridge Pike on the west side. Just use caution and common sense if you have to get out and about in this. It's pretty tricky out here in certain parts of Middle Tennessee this morning. PensacolaBeach.com has everything under the sun for you to plan out your next trip. Log on to PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
You have a vision. We have the financing to make it happen. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we have the resources that individuals, families, and businesses need to grow and achieve their goals. As an independent local community bank, we're able to provide loans with great rates, fast decision-making, and personal service from one of our local friendly lenders. We believe in the power of possibility. It's why we say yes more often. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive, right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and see for yourself. You should move here.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook A.G. & Johnson Realty. A.G. & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
It's going to be dangerously cold out there today with highs only climbing into the low 30s, so make sure to dress in layers if you have to be out. On Saturday, we do warm up to near 50 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
And again, a good morning and welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on this snowy Friday morning. Well, we've got the results of the snow anyway. It's not snowing now, but we welcome you to our friends from Exit Rocky Top Realty's C&D team. We've got actually got 3 this morning, only 2 Mikes here, but we'll say hello to Mike anyway. Mike Cox is with us. He's the chauffeur.
That's right.
For Miss Judy and Miss Medina. How's that? Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
He loves to drive in it. The deeper it is, the better he likes it.
Does he do donuts?
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally. I think he would if I wasn't in there.
I'll bet he did.
But he loves to get out in it.
50 years, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Well, when it snows, everybody goes, y'all home? Like, no, we're riding the roads. So he loves to ride the roads when it's snowing. So, and I do too, as long as I'm not driving.
Remind everybody you're located, your office is at 1330 West Main in Lebanon, a busy place. You've got great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. And you might get a call at 2. You might not answer immediately, but somebody does, and you'll get back to them. That's the way it works.
That's
They're
right.
people you can trust, and Medina always says,
"Don't make a move without us."
All right, and she'll say it again before we leave, I'm sure. All right, you want to get us started?
Well, we were going to announce the names of the kids that got the money from the Santa letters, but since school got out, we still got to get to the school to present it to them. So we want to still surprise them. So we're not going to say their name till next week, and then that way they'll have their money, and the teachers will know who they are and have their money. So,
right. Okay.
But we had a tremendous amount of letters. We were overwhelmed with them, but it was really good reading what the young people of today are asking for. It was amazing. Some wanted everything, and then some wanted nothing. It was very heartwarming to see what they all wanted. Medina might want to tell a couple things on the letters that did win.
All right.
The rifleman.
Yes, there was one that he wanted to be just like
The guy that was
Mr. McCain owned the rifleman.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he wanted to be just like him. He wanted a rifle just like him. And so I thought it was neat because most kids don't even know that show anymore.
Oh.
And,
yeah, that is an old one.
It is an old one. My boys were raised watching that one.
Yeah.
But Nicholas McCain, I think was his name. But anyway, and so that was one of them. And then the other one named all the reindeer and told Santa the order that they're supposed to be in. And you can't get them out of order.
And I thought it was cute. That little guy with the rifleman said, "I promise I won't shoot my eye out."
Yeah.
It was just
like the Christmas story.
And their spelling was not correct, and it was so nice and refreshing to read those. So it was good.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the winners announced next week along with the teachers.
That's right.
Okay.
And we'll be presenting them the first day that school goes back, whenever that is. So.
What do y'all do on a day like maybe yesterday and today? You still
Well,
get a lot
Mike
of
took
phone
us to our closings. Yeah, Mike got up and we had closings for today, and they rearranged them for yesterday because people were canceling. So our people was ready. Sellers was ready to close, buyers ready to close, and so we called them. We said, "Can you come today?" So they said, "Sure." So Mike took us up to the attorney's office, and the attorneys worked around everything, and we got them all closed by lunchtime.
Well, how
so
about that?
it worked out great. So now they're trying to load their moving trucks in this stuff. So who knows?
See, the moral of that is, as long as you have Mike and you have a telephone and you have your title company, then you're good to go.
We'll get the job done, but we did that yesterday. So we would be closing this morning, but now we've already got them closed, and everybody's got their money, and they're packing and ready to leave.
All right, and you're happy too.
That's right. We got it done ahead of time.
What's the message for today?
Well, we just want to, if you've been getting this time of the year, we're getting a lot of people that's getting these little postcards in the mail. It goes, hey, I'll buy your house for cash. We get them ourselves. And we had one little guy come in the office last week, and he had a one-page contract. It was an elderly man, and he said, these people came to me, and I thought it was a good deal, and I signed it. And he said, but I really don't want to sell my house because other people's told me I could get more. And we looked at the price. We're like, yeah, you could probably got about 20,000 more. and he was trying to figure out how to get out of it. So I told him, I said, you're going to have to go see an attorney because you've signed it, and on the little fine print, it says there is no return of backing out of this. So, and it was a one-page contract now, and our contracts are like 40 pages. So, you know, if somebody sends you those cards and they want to give you a cash price for your house, call a real estate agent and let them tell you what your house is really worth, because in this market, you don't need to just give your house away. No. You can sell it for high dollar. And I felt so bad for this guy. And it's one of those that you see on the TV all the time. And people just get so excited about the price, but they don't have a clue what it was really worth. So we told him, we said, there's nothing we can do. The fine print says that you can't not get out of it. So you need to go see an attorney, because surely there's something they can do. Because he says, I don't even want to sell it. I want to stay right where I'm at.
That is so sad.
And we felt, but we never had seen one of the contracts, but it was a one-page contract. But in the fine print, it was enough stuff that he couldn't, it said he couldn't get out of it. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'll let Medina talk about it. So be careful. If you get those, everybody gets them, but do see a real estate agent before you try to do anything with it.
Yes, we felt really bad for him, but there was nothing that we could do. But just keep your eye out on those, that you always need to call a real estate agent to ask them what they think instead of just taking one of those and running with it.
Yeah, at least get a second opinion.
Exactly. You do that on doctors, so you might as well on realtors as well. But listing that we're wanting to talk about today is on Lover's Lane. It's 2 acres. It's a beautiful 2 acres. It has a modular home on it, and it has a barn with electricity. But the acreage is beautiful. It's 2 acres right there on Lover's Lane. It's all wooded. And it'd be beautiful if you wanted to build a house on the property, remove the modular home, or stay in the modular home, either one. But it's listed at $264,900. So if you're interested in being on that side of town on Lover's Lane and having some 2 acres of property with a barn with electricity, it is fenced. And already the mature trees on it, everything, that is might be one of the perfect places for you. So give us a call on that. And then we have some lots on Canoe Branch Road and Misty Lane and Lakeview North, which is right there off of Canoe Branch Road and Ramsey Road and all of that, all back in there. So we have lots that's close to the lake, and they range anywhere from 89 to 99. And then we've got lots on Canoe Branch Road that's 23 acres. And it's $995. So if you're wanting to be on that side of town, wanting to build, or just wanting to have an investment property just to sit on, then give us a call, because we have plenty to choose from down in that area.
Yeah, so, give them a call, because somebody's going to answer that phone 24/7, like we say. 615-443-3130 if you don't have their cell phone.
That's right. Shout out. Yes, and I wanted to give a shout out to 2 ladies this morning. One of them is Judy Morris. She listens to us faithfully every Friday, and she called us at Cracker Barrel the other day, and she came up to me and said, "Don't make a move without us." So she listens to us. And then Miss Brenda Eubanks gets up just especially to listen to you, Coleman, and to hear us, but you especially.
Are you talking about the cheerleader?
But the yes, she's a big cheerleader. Yes.
Well,
yes,
she used to be. She used to be at Wilson Bank.
Yes.
And I called her the cheerleader. She was just like a cheerleader for the bank.
Yes, she is. She is. But she listens to you faithfully just to hear you, and then she goes about her day. So give her a big shout out to her as well.
All right. We all stay safe and dry and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next Friday. And thanks for being with us. Mike, good to see you, though you're not talking. We don't have a mic for you, really. And Medina, the last word is?
Don't make a move without us.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. We're going to go to the telephone now. My guest would be here if possible, but I think he's a little bit snowbound this morning. And anyway, I want to go to the phone and talk to General Sessions Judge Division 2, Jimmy Lee. Are you there?
I am. Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning. It is good to hear your voice, and you've been waiting patiently here for about 12, 13 minutes, I guess. We congratulate you on being chosen to replace Judge Haywood Berry, and I think you took over officially first of the year. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, sir. This week.
I did talk to Judge Tatum. In fact, he gave me your cell phone number, and I contacted you earlier. When we talked, we had no idea we were going to be snowbound, but I appreciate you wanting to come on and being with us. Sorry you can't be here in studio, but understand your road is a little bit difficult to navigate this morning.
It was. I got out a little before 6 this morning, Coleman, and there's one hill that is, say, around the curb. It's more like a left turn, and right before you start up it. So I started up it and obviously did not have enough speed, so I started down in the wrong direction. So that's when I called in and said, hey, I may need to just give you a phone call this morning. So I thank you for that.
Well, we've got to go to a break here in a couple of minutes, but before we do, I think you grew up here in Lebanon. You have a lot of relatives, some of whom are on the radio with us from time to time. But tell us just a little bit about who Judge Jimmy Lee is.
Well, I did grow up here, Coleman, graduated from Lebanon High School, and went to the University of Georgia for a couple of years, and then came back and finished my studies at MTSU. I had grandfathers that did have businesses here on the square, and I decided after college I went to work for Jerry Franklin with the Department of Health, and got interested in wanting to go to law school at that time, and then so I did, and he supported me very much through that, and so I worked for the state during the day, went to law school at night. When I got out, went to work for Lee & Lee Attorneys. I was very fortunate to have known Bob and Miss Lucy for a long time, and had gone to church with them at First Methodist here in Lebanon, and worked for them for several years, and about 5 or 6 years after working with them, I realized that what I wanted to do was be in the courtroom. That was the most enjoyment I found in the practice of law there. And somebody came to me one day, and it was actually Judge David Durham and R.D. Denny, who works at Lee & Lee, had come to me and said, well, if you want to be in the courtroom, public defenders and the district attorneys, they're there, every day. And so a position opened up with the district attorney's office, and I was fortunate enough to be hired by Tommy Thompson in 2007, and well, he was right. I started out in General Sessions every day with Judge Hamilton and Judge Tatum, and I also realized pretty quickly the best way to be in court is to also be a judge. I really was influenced very much by Judge Hamilton, Judge Tatum. I probably worked somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 cases in General Sessions Court over the years, and I like the high volume. There's a lot of different walks of life come through General Sessions Court, and I really probably became interested in possibly becoming a judge back in around at that time, 2008, 2009, and so that's kind of where my path led me, and then as the last 8 or 9 years has gone on, a lot of prayer and a lot of talks with family and friends, and I became interested.
Well, it seems like you sort of had to wait for the right opportunity here, but then it did come along, and you must be ecstatic about the opportunity, since this is what you were wanting to do for several years.
I really am and was, Coleman. I had talked a lot, like I said, with friends and family, and had learned through Judge Berry that he was likely not going to run again in 2022. And so, personally through that, we had, as a family, had kind of made a decision. I'm going to, this may be my opportunity. I've been practicing law for about 20 years, and then kind of out of nowhere, I spoke with Judge Berry, and he had, I think maybe the day before, had sent his letter to Mayor Hutto informing him that he would retire at the end of the year. So that kind of sped things up, and I kind of I think things happen for a reason a lot of times, and I knew that I had already made up my mind as to what I pretty well wanted to do for 2022, and then that came open, so I knew it was things happen for a reason, and I needed to make an effort to be appointed to fulfill this term.
All right, we need to take a break right here. Judge Jimmy Lee is with us. We'll talk more after this on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still moving out here on all the major interstate routes. There's still some dangerous driving conditions, however, all over Middle Tennessee this morning. Please be careful, especially on 65 as you head up towards the Kentucky area. Up through Portland was pretty bad yesterday. Again, use caution and common sense if you have to get out and about. Princess Hot Chicken is now available for catering. Check them out online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Mentor, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
A loaded offense.
Tannehill with the finger roll. Arthur, Juan, Brown carrying them.
A 2,000-yard king.
Derrick Henry to Peter.
And now, Julio Jones.
Touchdown, Titans.
Brought to you by Bakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
All right, we continue here on a Friday morning. My thanks to Judge Jimmy Lee. He's on the phone this morning, and we've got a lot more to talk about. But you've said so much already here about. It seems that you've had such preparation for what you're about to do, being in the court, being a lawyer first of all, and getting your feet wet there, but then working out of the DA's office and so on, and then the opportunity comes along here, so you're just ready to go. Now, one of the things we do here about we have crowded dockets, we have there's a lot of court cases to be heard, and what's happened so far? You just started the first, so I mean this is your first week, but what's going on in that area?
Well, what we started this week, actually on Tuesday was my first day to actually take the bench, and one of the things I do actually enjoy about General Sessions Court is the volume. You have a very high volume of people that come in, and it's really also a very it's almost what I call the epitome of humanity. You have people from all walks of life that come through, and for many of them, their first and only opportunity or ever experience with the court system may be in General Sessions. You may have a person there that's their first court appearance or their 40th, and it's you just want to treat every person because to them their case is the most important, and sometimes. When you have that many people coming through a court system, it's difficult, and you are trying to keep up, and you are trying to maintain, the flow of your cases and that sort of thing. But that's actually one of the things that I really do enjoy about it. And the court officers that are involved in General Sessions, the probation department, Ms. Jakowski, Debbie Moss's deputy clerks that she has, Ms. Brown, Ms. Sutton, Ms. Stewart, the district attorneys, the public defenders. It takes everybody, working in concert, and all of those folks do such a good job. It's really a privilege to serve the court in that manner, serving the people in that manner, because it's such a it's all those folks do a really good job, and that's what contributes to it being a successful Rand court.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about what you have said earlier, and how many times you've already been in the courtroom, actually, the General Sessions Court. There's got to be some times when you might not totally have agreed with the decision that the judge came with. You might have done it a little bit differently, but I would think that all your exposure there has made it so much better for you as you take over now, and that experience would be invaluable to you.
I feel like it is. I think to be a good judge, you have to be able to make a decision you don't necessarily agree with. The bottom line is you have to follow the law, and you have to do it in a consistent manner. I mean, I think that's what attorneys expect of you, is to be consistent. They need to be able to advise their clients, and district attorneys and prosecutors and officers need to know, what to expect as well. It's just a process, and I think that you also have to be able to say, yes, I made a mistake. I don't think you can be afraid of that either. You're making decisions that will affect people and affect their lives and that sort of thing, but I just think it's important to be honest, be very straightforward, and be able to step up and make tough decisions.
Okay, Judge, let me ask this. I know from time to time the responsibilities may have shifted slightly. I think we have 3 General Sessions judges maybe, and we have others that's in the system here, and sometimes there's a little bit of shifting of who does what. Is anything going to change the duties that Judge Barry had and what you're going to be doing?
Not that I'm aware of. As of right now, Division 2, it's 100% criminal matters and the traffic docket that is also involved there. As, of course, Judge Tatum with juvenile and civil, and Judge Hagan with the domestic and support and probate dockets that they handle. But as of right now, I believe that everything will stay the way it has with Judge Barry and with the complete criminal docket.
Well, I guess had we not had the snow, you would be hearing cases maybe today.
I would. At 9 o'clock this morning, we would have had a traffic docket today.
So those just have to be rescheduled, I take it.
They do. They have to be rescheduled. And I will tell you this, I need to say this is kind of something to say for Debbie Moss's clerks. They were in the office yesterday morning, even after the county had closed down, in there working, and to get the cases from yesterday. And because we know people are going to be calling in, and we have to have dates ready for them to get back in. And I had gone in and probably got in their way more than being of any assistance to them. But no, those clerks had a plan in order, and for people to call in, and then for us to notify them that would not have had their court dates, weren't able to come to court yesterday. And so we've got a plan in place, and they really did a great job of getting in there and getting that.
All right, I want to address another thing here. You were talking earlier about hearing that Judge Haywood Barry wasn't going to run for re-election, and you had your idea that you would. Then you get appointed here, but now this appointment, as I understand it, is just to fill out the unexpired term, and so I take it goes almost without saying you're gonna be running for this office in the next election.
Yes, sir, I am. I have pulled my petition, and actually had intent on filing it this week, but we'll get that filed next week, and I am definitely running.
So will this be part of the May primary?
Yes, sir. May 3rd. Be part of the May 3rd primary.
And then the general election in August, of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, have you ever campaigned before, or you've been active in anybody's campaign?
I am a complete novice. I have not, Coleman. I have been around it, obviously. Good friend Judge Kane, and on the outside, watching him and the election he ran in, and the elections that my coworkers at the DA's office have run in and been a part of. And of course, I'm very fond of lots of folks that have run here locally and have kept up with it. And watched it from a distance, but no, I have not been directly involved.
Well, one of the things, if you are an incumbent, which in this case you actually would be for a short time, you've still got to go to work every day, but you still got to plan your campaign time. It's not. It can't be easy, but I'm sure you look forward to the challenge.
Well, I do. I look forward to that. That was actually one of the thoughts I had when going into this. I had built up a lot of time working with the district attorney's office, and kind of as part of my plan was going to be able to take a lot of that time here in the spring, and as things got going here in 2022. And then when this opportunity came about, I knew there was no way I couldn't attempt to get that. So sure, it'll be difficult because I'm still going to work hard every day, and then campaign, I guess, in the evenings and other times. But I also think it's a great time for me to it's a time for me to do a good job, and it's a time for me to put in a lot of hard work and effort, and hopefully the people see that, and the results just follow, and I'll earn their vote, I guess, instead of just going out and asking for it.
One of the things I'm going to do here at the end, I should have done at the beginning. We talked about several people that you're related to, your kinfolks, but we really didn't talk about your wife or family. So I'm going to give you a little time here to do that, if you will.
Sure. My wife is Maggie Lee. She is the owner of Home Instead Senior Care. She is very passionate about taking care of seniors, and I know she's visited with you a few times on the radio for her Be a Santa to a Senior program and other things. And we have a wonderful 8-year-old son named Spencer. Goes to elementary school here in the Lebanon City.
How old did you say he is?
He is 8.
8 years old. Well, tell us about him a little bit.
Well, he is something else. He is nonstop all the time. He loves sports and outdoors and playing with his 85-pound dog Asher out in the snow more than anything else these last couple of days. But he's really smart boy, and we're super proud of him.
Yeah, we can tell that already. Well, we're in our last minute here this morning, and I'm kind of out of questions. But is there anything else that comes to your mind that you might want to share with our audience here in our final minute?
I just thank you more than anything else for letting me call in. I'm sorry I had such an issue this morning, Coleman, and I really would appreciate the opportunity to come in and sit at the table with you. I know several people that sure do enjoy coming out and talking with you, and I thank you for having me on this morning.
Well, I appreciate having you, and on a day like this, you're just thankful that you can have somebody to talk to, whether they're live in studio or calling in as you have. But you've covered a lot of ground here this morning, and we certainly wish you well as you fill in the unexpired term of Judge Haywood Berry, and I'm sure that you, and if you have an opponent, we'll be talking to the candidates later on. But thank you so much this morning for being with us. We've enjoyed it, and we'll have you back one of these days, okay?
Thank you so much, Coleman.
That is it for a Friday. I wish you a happy weekend. Again, thanks to Judge Jimmy Lee, our General Sessions Judge, Division 2, for being with us this morning. And I'll just say, until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.